Hello everyone, welcome to day 12th of September Leetcode challenge, and today's question is combination sum 3. So as the name suggests, you need the combination, you need to generate a combination of a particular sum. In this question there you are given two inputs, one is k and one is n, where n signifies that the total sum of each possible combination should be equal to 7, and the number of elements that should be there in each entry of your answer should be 3. So in this case, the total sum of these elements turn out to be 7, and the number of elements in each entry of the answer is 3. Similarly, if you look at the second example, the total sum has to be equal to 9, and all the elements in the answer should have 3 elements. So 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, they all sum up to 9, and each list has 3 elements in it. One important thing that you need to be a little cautious is the number of possible numbers lie from 1 to 9, and you don't have to count the permutations of it. You only need to be concerned about the combinations. What it means is, if the answer, one of the other possible answer would have been 214 or 421 or 412, you need to remove those possibilities, as you are only interested in the combination, not the permutation. So today I'll code first, and then tell you the algorithm behind it. It's a simple problem of backtracking, and if you're not aware of backtracking, this video will help. The other point that I forgot talking about is that you cannot duplicate elements in the single possibility of the answer, in a single combination. So the other possibility would have been 2 to 5 for this particular case, but you cannot repeat any element more than once, and hence you have to discard that case. So the duplication of elements in one particular combination is not allowed. So let's list down all the constraints that we have talked about. So this is the slideshow that I created, combination sum, and the first constraint that was very obviously stated in the question, that the sum of all elements in each array list in the answer object should be equal to n, which was given as one of the parameters. The size of each array list in the answer should be equal to k, that was also stated. Each element in the answer should include numbers from 1 to 10. Beyond 1 to 9, beyond 9 the numbers are not allowed, and you cannot duplicate the numbers in each entry in the answer, in each of the combination. No permutation to be counted, only combinations. So we are only interested in combinations. So 1 to 4 should be treated equivalent to 4 to 1 and should have only one entry in it. So this gives you a hint that you may use set somewhere. The approach that we will follow is the backtracking approach. If you are not aware of backtracking, don't worry. It's a recursion with a tweak, and I'll talk about what tweak it is. So before discussing this slide, I would be coding first so that you understand better, and then I'll come back to the backtracking technique that has been stated here. So from the slideshow, you got a hint that to counter duplicacy, you can use set. You can exploit the property of a set. So let's do that way itself, and we will optimize on that and moving towards the list. So let's code the simpler way first. Set integer, set list of integers. So as to combat duplicacy, you define a set, new hash set. This will take care of 4 to 1, 1 to 4, and all those cases. And let me just define another recursive method, which will be using the backtracking technique, and I'll pass few parameters here. One is this set, which will be updating the answer list, and the other would be k, and the sum, and new hash set, which will act as a reference point for the current running hash set, and I'll return new array list, and I'll pass this set here. So this is another construct for array list that you can pass set to it, and it will convert it to a set and return the answer. So we don't need to worry about that. As stated, I'll be passing 4 parameters. This one is the set of list that will keep track of the answer array. So let me just call it ANS. The other is the number of elements. K signifies the number of elements. So let me just write number of elements. And the next is the sum. So let me just write it as current sum or remaining sum. Let me just call it remaining sum. And the last parameter is the hash set part, the set part which will keep track of the current state of the system or the current running set. So let me just call it running set. So what we are going to do is, if the number of elements if the number of elements if the number of elements is equal to 0, that you don't have to add any more elements, and if the remaining sum is also equal to 0, that you have already consumed the previous sum, the intended sum, you will add you'll add the running set into your answer. So how are you going to do that? Ans.add new array list, and you'll pass the running set here, running set. So it will convert the set to an array list and add it to the answer, and you'll simply return. You don't need to do anything else. What, like, the remaining sum is not 0. It can be greater, it can be less. You have to simply return, because that the current possibility doesn't give you an answer. So I'll simply return back. If you're not able to understand this part of the code, you will gradually understand as I'll write the backtracking logic, why I am equating to 0 and why I am equating running sum to 0. If for any case the running sum turns out to be less than 0, you simply abort the process, because that will never lead to an expected answer. What I'm going to do next is, I'll start from the first possibility, adding the first number, which can be 1, till the ninth possibility, which is equal to 9. So let me just write it equal to 9, less than equal to 9. And what will I do? If my set, the running set, does not contains I, if it doesn't contain I, I'll simply add running I to the running set, and I'll re-invoke this method, helper method, passing the ANS part, reducing the number of elements by 1, since I added one element to my running set, and correspondingly I'll reduce the remaining sum by I, and I'll pass the running set as reference. And once I have passed that, I'll simply remove the last element that was added. So running set dot remove that element, and I think we are good. So let me just try to run it, and then I'll explain what I have done in this code. So the answer passed, it matched, and let me just submit it now. And it is accepted. Let me just explain what we have done in this code. So let me just talk about the combination sum helper method first. So there is a condition which breaks the recursive operation. The condition says that the number of elements is equal to 0, or the remaining sum is equal to 0. If that case matches, you update your result. Otherwise, if the remaining sum is of any value, positive or negative, you simply abort the process. And in case the number of elements is not equal to 0, however the remaining sum turns out to be equal less than 0, you simply abort the process, but because that will never lead to a possible answer. You iterated from 1 to 9, and you checked whether the current running set is equal contains the ith element or not, because you can't add single element multiple times. And if it doesn't have that element, you simply add that element to it, reduce the number of elements count, reduce the remaining sum count, and pass it as a running as for the next iteration. And once you are done, once one possibility has led to one possible answer, you simply remove, and you start for the next ith iteration of this loop. And this is what recursion and backtracking is. Backtracking is you add an element to the current state, you aim for the possible answer, and you just remove the previous element so as to generate all the possibilities. So this is pretty much what backtracking talks about. So I have stated the rules here as well. So you maintain the current state of the object, which is the running set in our case. You loop through all the possibilities of the sample set, which is 1 to 9 in our case. You add an element from the sample set, which is I, recursively invoke for a possible answer, not for the next entry, for a for a for a possible answer, for a possible probable or possible answer, and you remove the last element that was added in the sample set to generate all the possibilities. So that's pretty much what we call backtracking. Because the backtracking involves adding an element to the sample set, recursively invoking for the possibility of an answer, and removing the last element to first to return to the previous state and generate all the possibilities. So let me just talk about how can we improvise on this algorithm. It is slightly time consuming because every time you are checking the contains method here, what you can do, you can avoid that by using simple tweaks to this algorithm. You have to pass another variable here, which will tell you the starting position from where do you need to start. So that is the starting value. Let's name it the starting value, because, and let's part the starting value here, and you don't need this statement, and you will pass the I plus 1 value here, and most likely it should serve the purpose. So let me just run it and then I'll tell you what I have done. So it gives you an answer and accepted. So what I have done here is I have passed one of the variable and added another variable to it, which tells me the starting value from which I need to recurse through this loop. And because if you are starting from 1, then you will generate all the possibilities up to 9, and if you are starting from 2, you didn't need to add 1 back again because it was already taken care by the first loop that started from 1. You're only concerned about the elements after the start point, which is 3 to 9, or uh, 3 to 9. And whenever the start value, whatever the start value is, we want to have to only look forward, not in the backward direction. Hence you can use this variable to increase the time complexity of the system, of this algorithm. And you have to start from the higher value because you cannot add the same value again. Therefore I added I plus 1 here. Hope I am able to convey my message, and if you have any doubts with respect to the solution that I proposed, please feel free to comment. I'll be able to help. I should be able to help you there.